Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another episode of my best class setup series in Black Ops 4. Today we're doing the second to last SMG. I still have one more SMG to cover, but I've done 4 out of the 5 now. Well, this will be the 4th out of the 5th. And this is the Cordite SMG. And this is a unique SMG because it's a fast firing, quick to kill gun, but it does have a lot of flaws as well. But it does have some strengths that other guns just can't keep up with. And I do think this is a good weapon if used properly, and I tried to design a class around making this as strong as possible, and I think you guys will enjoy this. So if you guys could smack a like on this thing, let's go for 1,500 likes. That would be amazing. Your guys' support has been absolutely incredible lately, and I just appreciate it so much. So smack that like button. Let's go for 1,500. Also subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. I would really appreciate that, and let's get right into it. So the first strength of this weapon, and this weapon reminds me sort of a lot of kind of the P90 or the Weevil, maybe a little bit of a worse version of that. I don't know, maybe not. I think it's just the fact that not that the SMGs are so weak in this game, just that the ARs and tactical rifles are so damn strong. So maybe once those nerfs come in, the SMGs will be the best guns in the game. I think the meta is going to change a lot over the season, over this next year of the COD cycle with Black Ops 4, or the next couple years if this game lasts as long as, the predecessor Black Ops 3 did. That game basically had a 2 to 3 year life cycle because of people going back from previous CODs. But we'll talk about that in another video. The Cordite, this is a decent gun. This is a good gun for melting people at close range. It will delete people at close range, much like the Spitfire does. Probably a little bit slower, but its strength is that you don't have to reload pretty much, because the main strength is this gun comes with 60 rounds in it, and once you throw on extended mags, you get 90, and basically you don't have to reload very often. You could also do the belt feed, I believe it's called, which is the operator mod, and the cool thing about that is that your gun basically turns into one of those like AW guns that would just overheat once you shoot like 75 bullets. But I really feel like, first of all, you're probably never going to overheat while using that, so that's good. You don't have to reload. But when you already have 60, or if you slap on the extended mags and have 90, I really don't think you have to worry about that. And that's basically why I do think that the operator mod is great on this gun, and I will be going through and making gameplays with every operator mod, making class setups. But as of the best class setup and how I've designed this class, it's sort of around jump shotting, around winning gunfights at close, and around melting your enemies, much like you'll see me do right here up in their spawn in this gameplay. So let's talk about it. First thing about this gun is I do run a reflex sight on it. Honestly, the reason I was using reflex sight is because I didn't have the elo unlocked yet when I made this gameplay. Of course, basically what I do is I test out all different combinations as I'm leveling the gun up from level 1 to max, and then I decide sort of on a best class setup when I'm near the top levels of the gun. So I really do think that in elo sight, the reason why I do run a sight is you could run default sight, but I had an extra slot in my inventory, and what are you going to do with one extra slot in this game? It's like, dude, I can, you can't slap on another perk because you need the wild card and then another perk. So you could slap on a secondary, but why do you need a secondary on a SMG that sprays 90 bullets? So that's why I just slap on the sight. Honestly, elo, reflex, no sight, it's all personal preference. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys what to do, but let me know in the comment section down below what you run as far as a sight. I was liking the reflex with it. I'm sure elo does, is good as well, but that's basically what I was rocking with. Now, as far as the attachments, I run 2 attachments with this gun. Honestly, the attachments aren't very good that are available, and I basically just run a pretty basic setup with attachment number 1 being grip, obviously because this gun kicks. It does kick, and the way that I'm able to sort of make it shoot straight is keep the engagements close range, maximum at like a decent medium range, and also when you're shooting, be sure to pull down on that right stick, and that's basically how I'm able to shoot people and sort of control the recoil a little bit. But also grip, there's no reason to not run grip, and that's one of the I basically build class setups around strengths and around a playstyle, right? And the Spitfire is a fast killing gun up close just like this, but what it doesn't have available to it is a grip and also 90 bullets in the magazines, or 90 rounds in the magazine. So that's why I go with grip, and then my second attachment, extended mags. And that's a very, very good combo to take a weapon that's similar from the Spitfire and divide it a little bit differently. With the Spitfire setup, I run basically hip fire, double laser sight. You can also run stim shot with that because you can stim shot while spraying. With this one, I basically build it around aiming down sight battles and grip, red dot, and extended mags. That's what I have with that. Those are my attachments. As far as the gear, like I said, I do run acoustic sensor on this gun, and I'll tell you guys why right now, because acoustic sensor fits in with the perk combo. Now, the perk combo of this gun, perk 1 is going to be Flak Jacket. You're going to be rushing, and I know it's rare to talk about rushing in this game because it kind of is hard to rush in the current meta, but you can do it on certain maps like the maps that I got here, Payload, Slums. These are really good maps because you can basically play the angles, play doorways, and sort of rush without rushing. As you guys can see right here, I'm going to get a close range engagement just by these people running up to me, and the reason why I didn't push that corner there is because I knew there was multiple enemies, and obviously pushing multiple enemies would not end up good for me, so that's why I didn't do that. So the reason why I run acoustic sensor is because it pairs really good with what I have as my perk 2s, which I'll talk about in a second. Perk 1, Flak Jacket, you're going to be rushing, you're going to run through mesh mines, you're going to have RCXDs and stuff like that, and that's just why I rock with Flak Jacket, because when you're up close and personal, Tac Mask is probably better on assault rifle class setups, and that's what I use, because though Tac Mask is great for them when they're trying to chase you down, but when you're trying to go aggro and push them, Flak Jacket is probably the way to go. Now, as far as my perk 2, you guys wonder why I run acoustic sensor, why I run the red dot and everything like that, and that's because this setup is garnered around jump shotting and melting enemies, and the reasoning for that is acoustic sensor is great for jump shotting because it lets you know the enemies around this corner, so you get the upper hand of intel or knowledge, so you know to jump around the corner. But the reason why I say this class setup is so good for jump shot and melting people at close range is because I run 2 perk 2s. Perk 1 is obviously going to be Gung Ho. I think Gung Ho is probably the best perk in the game. Fire my weapon and use equipment while sprinting. Recover from sprint faster. Move at full speed while reloading. These all sound great on a gun like this. You know, I don't really need that move while reloading thing because you won't be reloading as often, but definitely getting my gun up quicker and moving it fire my weapon while sprinting are 2 big things on a rush class setup that go great with Gung Ho. But then the second perk 2 I run, which really puts this class setup together nicely, is Dexterity. And Dexterity is one that doesn't get as much love in the perk 2 because of how popular and good Gung Ho is. But if you can afford 2 perk 2s like I can on this setup, Dexterity is a great one to go. Basically, it allows you to mantle, climb, slide, and swap weapons faster, and it gives you increased weapon accuracy while jumping and mantling. So, whilst basically you can slide around, mantle, jump shot, and be more accurate with this gun, which is a key, and I think this is such a good thing. If you watch my engagements, a lot of these fights are me jumping around corners, or, you know, playing corners, getting intel, and then sort of taking the enemies out. That's how I play this class setup. I play it on corridors, and that's basically how it goes. Perk 3, I run with Dead Silence. You're going to be pushing. You have acoustic sensor. Of course, you can run stim shot if you want there. I just think that if you're going to run stim shot, it's probably better with like the Spitfire laser sight class setup, because then you can hip fire with the double laser sight and have a very good hip fire while healing yourself. This class setup, and while the Cordite has decent hip fire, you know, it's an SMG. The SMGs actually have kind of weak hip fire in this game. They kind of force you to put laser sight on it. By me ignoring laser sight, hip fire is not too strong on this gun, and you'll notice in the gameplays, most of my engagements are close range, aim down sights, me aiming around the corners, me jumping around the corners, something like that. That's sort of how I'm getting the upper hand. Now, as far as gun balancing goes, what do I think this gun melts? Yes, this gun does melt, but you can't take on any engagements at medium range because of how strong the ARs are. If you keep them to close range and to jumping around corners, they're not going to be able to beat you unless they get the upper hand on you or you miss your shots or something like that. I do think this gun is good, and it's going to be interesting to see what they really do, because sure, you can use SMGs and they're great for an SMG playstyle, but as soon as you catch a guy at a long line of sight, they're able to take you out. And I don't know if that's because the SMGs traditionally are underpowered or the ARs are overpowered, but it's going to be interesting. And the rumor is that this Tuesday is potentially when a patch is coming out. That's just a rumor that's going around the COD community, but honestly, if the game's been out for over 2 weeks now, you know, the start of last weekend was 2 weeks, and I think it is time for some balance changes. It's understandable that Treyarch was focusing on, when the game first comes out, making sure the servers are running at top speed, making sure there's no bugs, there's no glitches, there's no exploits or anything game breaking, and of course that is more important than balancing changes. Get rid of the game breaking glitches, bugs, and stuff like that. Well, I mean, if those are happening to you and it's actually breaking your game, then obviously you don't care about balance changes if your game is literally unplayable because of bugs. But once they got that out the way, and I haven't experienced much problems with this game, I don't know if it's because I play on a PS4 Pro or anything like that, but hit detection's been decent for me, you know, knock on wood. Everything's been good for me with this game so far, so I really think it is time for some balance changes, and I do think those are coming, if not this Tuesday, sometime very, very soon, and I'm super excited about it. If you guys could smack a like on this video, and you guys can see, I get up in their spawn, and I put the hurt down a little bit, but unfortunately, that's the problem of not having stim shot. You don't get to heal as much, and that's why I went a little bit too deep there in spawn, but that was because it was for the end of the match. If you guys made it to the end, drop a like on this video, subscribe if you guys are new, and that's about it. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.